Right, again, just going to look around for stocks here. Again, the market is very, very undecided here. Just chopping all over the place. Citigroup took a big flush down, just bounced. Look at that big hammer bar right there on some news. Apparently they oversaw $1 billion for trust U.S. U.S. tied to sanctioned Russian. But anyway, flushed it down pretty hard. Sophie, nice PBO shy. Sophie. Yeah, another financial stock here. It is a nice PBO right here on Sophie. Very choppy here, but it is pulling back a little bit. It's had a beautiful move right here. See this nice move up, fairly smooth. Gets extended, comes back. Little kind of crazy candles in there on Sophie. But it is a nice setup. See, the volume's coming down. It's trying to break out here. I'm just watching the market right now. The market's just not really doing anything. Whoops. Just chopping. Very choppy. Anthony, how do you determine if an option is overpriced? Well, I mean, it's really pretty hard. The BM&R options are very, very expensive, but it's the what you have to look at is how much at the money options, how much you're paying for the at the money options, how much volatility is built into that. If you take BM&R and you take like a $65 call, it's going to be like $6-7, which means that's an out of the money position, that's all extrinsic value. Those are pretty expensive, which means that they're building in a lot of volatility. It's not necessarily overpriced, but you're paying an awful lot of premium for time decay and time decay and volatility. So they're very expensive. They're expensive because the stock is volatile. Are they overpriced? It depends on how much the stock moves. If you stick to stocks that are, mostly the blue chip type stocks, Microsoft, Apple, Tesla, those kind of stocks, typically the range is going to be pretty predictable, and it's going to stay within that range. In other words, if a stock moves $25-30 a day, the options can be pretty expensive, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're overpriced. You want to get in for as close as intrinsic value as you can, but sometimes it's hard on very, very expensive stocks, or very volatile stock, not necessarily expensive stocks. Trend swinging up again here now. All right, again, I'm not doing anything here right now. I'm just watching the market. I took a loss on Chewy. I'm not going to mess around with it anymore. It's got a couple weeks to go, but the daily chart's gotten too strong for me. I mean, if I looked at that daily chart at this point, I would say it's bullish. Triple Q's coming down a little bit. IWM also coming down. IWM red for the day. SPY red for the day, just down 0.07%, and Triple Q's up 0.07%. Not much action here in the market right now. Coin up this morning a little bit, about 6% on coin. Crypto moving up pretty nicely. MSTR with a nice bounce here today as well. SPY pulling down a little bit. There's BMNR right now starting to show some weakness. See that drop? That's 62 to $7 drop right there. So again, these things are very volatile. You got to be very, very careful with them. Raymond, Microsoft, nice PBO, nice relative strength at the moment. Microsoft. Yeah, very nice relative strength. Very, very nice. It is a PBO. Here it is right here on the daily chart. Easy to see. Earnings, big move in earnings. Big pullback. Again, way extended from the 8, which is way down here. This white line. Pulls back to it, bounces up, pulls back to it again, doing a PBO. Pullback opportunity, very nice. Little doji right here on the 8, a breakout here this morning above there. This algo line is probably not effective anymore. This was an ascending algo line. I don't think that was is something I would use at this point. Whoops. So I like this setup. That's a nice setup on Microsoft. No earnings now until end of October. Yeah, nice look on Microsoft. I like that. Might actually do a weekly ATM on that one. That's a pretty nice setup on Microsoft. Usually it's a pretty nice weekly ATM type trade. It's just been a little bit too volatile for me right now to do a weekly ATM. So I like it as a long right here. Nice look on that, Raymond. Very nice. BMNR starting to bounce. After a little pullback. Cryptos. SPY starting to bounce, getting a little bit of a bounce. Notice that the T21, the market internal has been all over the place this morning. And very, very choppy. It's just going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. To look at T2104 right here, same thing as the VOLD. It's going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Very, very weak here. Now starting to bounce. Now just chopping. It's not telling us anything about what the market's going to do. We don't have any idea. Again, a lot of great questions in this room this morning. A lot of great call-outs. Really great call-outs. I appreciate that. It's really gratifying to see everybody looking for these high probability trade setups and finding them. What do I think about Dell above bull? Started well today, pulled back a little. Daily chart bouncing off the 15 and 8. Seems to have some relative strength in the M5 on bull. Yeah, that's web bull. It's been very strong lately. It's very choppy right now, but again, if you look at the daily chart on it, it's tough to predict a stock like this. It's because it's been this is where it just became. This is the IPO right here where it went on. Big huge move up here to $79. and then basically very, very volatile. Look at the size of these candles, and up and down, chopping up and down. There's your resistance right there at 1722. Hard for me to trade something like this. I mean, it really is. It's come up pretty nicely here since the low down here near the 50-day moving average, but again, it's just hard to predict. And the overall trend you see has been down and is trying to recover. I don't think I'd be interested until I get above 1765, get above this high right here. Then you get quite a bit of more retracement, but it's very, very choppy, in my opinion, very choppy. You know, it's hard to predict what it's going to do.
Tell her I've lost count of the number of kids that get flashbacks from like a storm like this in a car accident. You know, even just anything. You know,
It's just crazy.
it is crazy.
You know, it's
To go
like,
out when it's lightning.
yeah.
Rain is one thing,
But and it was raining heavily.
it
So
was
I
lightning.
said, "Are you nuts?"
Well, instead of
No,
asking,
it's great.
just tell her she's nuts.
That's what I said. I didn't say anything back. I said, "Are you guys nuts?"
That's
Especially
especially
immediate gratification for Amelia. I don't know. It's nuts.
like, I never tried to do any of that shit with my kids, and they're just fine.
They manage somehow. Probably something she needs to have before school starts. You know, the kids started school in Charleston County today.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
What?
Yep.
Your mic on?
No, I get off. Did Mary Lou go somewhere shopping?
Well, like about 15 minutes ago, she texted me. You know, we were in the middle.
Yeah.
And said, Amelia, you know, if you still want to go. And I said, yeah. So she says, you know, like noon, 1 o'clock would be better. And it's a good break. And so she said, Amelia wants to go to Dick's Sporting Goods, so I'll let you know when I get back.
She went over to Dick's Sporting Goods
Well, she said she was taking.
in the rain?
You
That's
know,
not just rain, this is flooding rain.
It's lightning too.
yeah, you know, and this is when it was still in the middle.
It was literally lightning
And I said,
outside.
are you nuts?
Obviously they're nuts.
That's why I said to you, yeah, that's not really a question.
The answer would be no, we're not going to Dick's right now.
Well, yeah, that would be the safe thing to do.
What can be so important? You gotta get it right now at Dick's.
Can't wait. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Crazy, crazy ass people.
Car cry, yeah.
Alright, back to normal. So many people. All right, see if we have any more questions here. Oh, so far kind of quiet. Again, this is a pretty choppy market to try to trade right now. You can see we really haven't gone anywhere since we get up this move this morning. This is pretty choppy. Get up to 637.97. Now we're just chopping all over the place. Q is very similar. IWM now pretty weak. Microsoft was a nice look on Microsoft. There's a potential long right here. It is a very nice setup on Microsoft. I do like Microsoft. This is a nice PVO right here. I like it. Very nice look. Raymond, that was a nice look on that one. Microsoft, by the way, pretty expensive. The stock's expensive, so the options are pretty expensive. So if you go out a few weeks, if you go out to like September 12th, the delta, the 70 delta is on the 510. Those are $2,200, $2,300. So pretty expensive. And even the you can't really get a decent price on the debit spread for this week either. So I'm not going to do anything with it right now. SPY coming up to the VWAP. Again, no market direction here at all. Just chop. Again, low probability trading environment, sometimes known as an LPTE. It's BMNR starting to show a little bit more life again after this big move pull down. I mean, it's a $7 drop. These things is very crazy. Again, not something I would recommend for unless you're a really seasoned trader and you get some decent emotional control. You're gonna get some. I mean, if you get into a stock and you got to give it $6 or $7 to the downside, that's 10%. That's a lot. But that's what you have to do with a stock like this. Try to pick your entries on a nice pullback to the V15 or the VWAP and take it there. But I would, again, this is not for everybody. I have some people that really like to trade Momo, so I call them out when I see them. Again, I got out of Chewy, took a loss on Chewy today. I got out for 70 cents, 72 I think, and it's trading at 74 cents right now. Just don't like the daily setup on it anymore. Tesla looks pretty good. Tesla looks pretty good. It's a long way away from support, but it's a pretty nice move here this morning, and it's holding up pretty well in a really choppy market. I haven't looked at Roblex lately. Roblex holding up pretty nicely as well. Is Microsoft 515, 510, August 27 PC put credit spread?
This morning,
I hadn't thought about that. Let me take a look.
Is looking at reclassifying marijuana. Keep in mind, this was as well discussed this morning on some of these moves and the pre-market move.
Yeah, that's a pretty good setup on a PCS for August 22nd. Maximum 515, 510. I don't know what. Do you know what you can get for it? How much credit can you get? You got to be able to get. Geez, $1.38. 515, 510 for $1.38. That's pretty good. I like that. To be honest with you, I do like that. What is it for this week? Only 58 cents for this week. What's going on here next week that it's so much? Dividend coming out. Still shouldn't affect it that badly though. I think I might have been looking at the wrong date. Yeah, $1 is what I see, which is 515, 510 for $1 credit is pretty good. You want to get $1 for a $5 spread like that. That's okay. I mean, if you look at it, what do we get for support levels? Well, we have the 8 and we have the 15 right here. And then you've also got this gap fill right there. That's around 515.64. So you're actually placing your short put slightly below your gap, which is decent. I mean, you're not going to get anything if you go down here to the 50-day moving average, but I think that's a decent trade actually. 515, 510 for next week. Yeah, I like that. If you can get filled at it. Bradley, should you stay in Roblex? Yes. Yeah, we're still in Roblex. I don't know what would give you a thought process to get out of it. I mean, here's a daily chart on Roblex. I don't see any. It's got the 15. It's above it. It's above the 8. It's got plenty of room up here to 141. I think it's a good setup right here. This would be one to actually buy some more calls on if you went out, 3 or 4 weeks into the future on it. Yeah, absolutely stay in the Roblex. I just put a trade in on Microsoft, see if I could get filled on it for $1. I could not. Spreads must be a little bit wide because I put an order in to get a credit for $1. Oops. Wait a minute. That's not right. I entered the order wrong. It could have something to do with it. Yeah, I get filled on that Microsoft put credit spread. I get filled at $1.05. That would be the August 22nd, week from Friday. I sold the 515 put and bought the 510 put as a put credit spread. That's a bullish trade on Microsoft, and I like the setup on it. That was called out here. That was a nice call out from the room, and I'm taking that. Got it for $1.05 garage. Okay, I just took it as well. I'm gonna, and that was a very nice call out. Garage, very Maxim called that one out. I'm gonna go ahead and post that one. You know, as long as the stock stays up that way, that's pretty good. It doesn't have to necessarily take off, but it needs to stay relatively strong. We'll do a put credit spread on it. Microsoft. This is a put credit spread. Okay, so you're selling the August 22nd 515 put. And buying August 22nd 510 put.
Remember, not seeing much action as Trump is speaking on China. Says
$1.05 credit.
tariff extensions, and we'll see what
Right,
happens.
510, 515. Sell the 515 by the 510. So what you're looking for is the stock to stay above 515 by a week from Friday. All right, 515 is right down around here. See, that's right around that level right there. That's a gap fill. See the big gap on earnings. So we're looking for it to hold that gap, stay above the 8, stay above the 15. So yeah, I like that trade. It's a bullish trade, and I like that. And I got $1.05 for it. So very nice. Nice call out. Again, we're getting some really nice call outs in the room. Not necessarily mean it's going to work, but we've got some nice ones. Anything can fail, but this is a pretty nice, and it's a pretty nice amount of credit for it. Over $1.05 on a $5 credit's pretty good. On a $5 spread is pretty good. Right, so I'm in that, and I like it. Very nice look. Bradley, you had analysis paralysis on MO, thinking it was too overextended from the any advice. Any advice to not get analysis paralysis? Well, let's look. Well, I think your instincts were right on it. I think it is too far extended. Right now it's trading at 65.25. it's the 8 exponential was 63.14. It's about $2.10 to the upside. The ATR is about a buck. So it was very close, a very close call. I don't think I would have taken it either. And it's, it's moving up beautifully if you were talking about today. So risk size too big at 515, 510, so you took a 515, 512.50. That's fine. That's fine. And I suspect you probably get a half a dollar or so for it, Dan. And that's fine. I'm gonna cut your risk down to 250 minus what you collected, so about $2, which is fine. Since last Wednesday, Bradley? Since last Wednesday. Okay, I see. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. They were closed at about 63.22, and the 8 at that point in time was at 61.65, so it was only about $1.60. Yeah, that could have been taken, but listen, it's a very close call. You got 58 on the Microsoft. That's a very nice price on that, Dan. Very nice price. Good job. And there's nothing wrong with that. The 250 spread is fine. You can do a $10 spread. Just depends. Obviously, you cut your risk down if you take a smaller spread, but you can take more contracts. But the number of contracts you take is what makes a difference. If you're only doing one contract, then yeah, you can get a lot less risk at the 250, or you can take 2 of them and still get the same risk, which is going to be $500 minus what you collect. All right, so we got Microsoft, we got Roblex pulling back, we got the SPY just kind of sliding sideways below the VWAP. Very low probability trading environment right now. Very, very low probability trading environment. Not really that anything you take directionally as far as the market's concerned right now. Again, is BMNR still showing up again, starting to bounce back up again. Very, very volatile momentum stock. Again, I'm out of Chewy. It might go back down again, and I could have stayed in, but it's the daily chart is too bullish for me right now. I'm not going to mess with it anymore. Here's the SPY daily chart just to keep it in perspective. Big gap down here on the jobs report. Nice bounce. Green, red, green, red, green. Doji right now. This Tesla still moving up to it. That 347 resistance level is a nice long today. Again, Roblex still looks pretty good here. Microsoft that we just took. This is the put credit spread. We're looking for it to stay above 315, which is right about in here. 515, I mean, sorry. He's at BMNR, moving up. A lot of room up here to $122. Moving up right now. Again, wait for a bounce. It came right off of the VWAP right here. Nice little bounce in the BMNR. Chewy pulling down. And SPY pulling down. Very, very low probability trading environment. Very low probability trading environment market right now. Again, we're in a low probability trading environment right here, right now. There's not much direction to the market. Qs. Roblex bouncing off the VWAP here. Microsoft doing nicely. Again, we got a credit spread on Microsoft here. It's a pretty decent credit to $105 for $5 risk. So basically, your risk here on this trade, by the way, is $500 per contract minus $1.05 minus 105. So you get a 500 risk. So you get a $395 risk per contract on this. If it blows up on us. All right, if we have any more questions. It's about 11, quarter 12 right now. Yeah, Dan, if you had a bigger account, you'd be taking two. At the 515, 512.50, at 58 cents, it's better there than the 105. Absolutely, it comes out to $1.16. So that's a good price on that one. Depends on the spreads of the options when you took it, but that's a good price. Reddit is breaking above resistance levels from 202.50 to 202 from 212. Reddit breaking above resistance. Yep, it certainly is. Resistance levels on Reddit. Yeah, Reddit is pretty high here. Yeah, the resistance on Reddit, the high volume resistance on Reddit is at 220.75. So it's broken above there. It's got the all-time high to get through right now, but they're not high volume candles up there. So Reddit's a nice long setup here as well. Not terribly extended. It's a little bit extended here on Reddit. Right there. Go back here to the high on the Reddit back here. Yep, and that's right. You're right on that high volume candle. That February 12th, 2025. Yeah, it is through that value. That was 220.75. That is the volume that is broke through. There's no more high volume candles above there. So it's a nice look on that, Bradley. Very nice. All right, so all I've done today so far is I closed Chewy for loss, and I took Microsoft put credit spread that was recommended by the room, and I did trade a BMNR. I traded it early this morning for $3, and I'm back in it again here now at around 65.50, and we'll see where it goes. Again, I'm not recommending this to anybody. These are very, very volatile stocks. Okay, so the SPY moving up above through the VWAP here right now, with a little bit of force. We see we're up again on the market internals. They've been chopping all over the place. They are showing bullishness right now. Market internals moving up, market moving up, SPY breaking through the VWAP. It's been a while since it got above the VWAP. It was above it here all morning, and it pulled back below it here about 10:25. Hasn't been able to get above it since now, about an hour ago. Microsoft moving up beautifully. I'm going to put a sell order in on Microsoft to buy it back for 10 cents just to have something working out there. All right, buy back for 10 cents just to have it working. It's obviously not going to be anything close to that for a while unless we get a huge spike in Microsoft. Right now, that spread's going for 97 cents. 97 cents. So up about $8 on that thing right now. And Dan took the 515, 512.50 at 58 cents, which was really a good price in that. If I had seen it, I would have taken that and taken twice as many of that than I did the 515, 510. But that's a good one because that works out to $1.16 for a $5 spread. Very nice. So I'll put my order in at Microsoft just to have that out there working. I can adjust it anytime I need to. Bradley, thoughts on GE? Price staying above 270, 280 in GE. Yeah, that's the 8 exponential that you're looking at. It's a good setup, and GE is very strong here. There's GE right there. That's the chart. It's a nice chart, GE. You know, moves up, gets too far away, comes back. Moves up, gets too far away, comes back. Moves up, starting to curl back up again. Just following the 8 very nicely here. Notice how the 15 held up here. It went through it here, but it held here, it held here, it held here, held here. It's a pretty nice setup, and that's a decent long. With earnings out to 10.25. Yeah, it's a nice setup on GE. GEV is another one as well. It says GEV. Knows how it's pulled back to the 15, bouncing off of it. This is GE, but this is the spin off from GE. Pretty expensive, by the way. GE much cheaper. And this Microsoft holding up beautifully today. Roblex still looking good. Coming up on 12 o'clock. Yeah, it's support, Bradley. I know that's the 8 exponential that you're talking about on GE on support. Perfect support level. Market internals showing some green here now. Market's starting to head back up again. The high in the SPY is 637.97. Very close to going to the all-time high, to the high for the day. Nice move in it.
On TVG, and for its top line revenue forecast of $1 billion in launch year. More color on that in the news desk.
BMNR moving up here now. Got up to 70. New high of the day on BMNR. Very volatile. Look at this thing flap around. Very volatile stock. Does have some resistance, about $75 right now. And then 93. It's really a crazy stock. Hello, YouTube folks. How you doing today? Got a lot of folks on the YouTube watching. I'll have that running probably till about 12:15 or so. I'll probably take lunch around 12:15 today. Not an awful lot going on. The market is LPTE right now. We haven't done much. We took out Lost and Chewy, which is probably you could get more for it now. It's bounced back. It's come down a little bit, but again, I'm out of that thing. I'm not going to mess with it. It could go, could get down further. We could have wished we held it, but I'm not going to mess with it. Roblex, I still like Roblex here. Roblex nice, and Microsoft that's a beautiful, that's a nice put credit spread. Really nice. It's expensive stock, so it's hard to buy straight calls in it. Debit spreads really weren't practical. You couldn't get was costing too much for the debit spread. So put credit spread that was recommended by the room was really a good. I think that's a good trade. Again, I get a dime sell order on it. Buy it back for a dime. BM&R still jumping around here. Obviously you can use this current time frame momentum for a trade here. Notice how it went from red here to blue here as it broke above the 15. Nice little entry right there, about $66. Went up about $4. SPY moving up here, high of the day on the SPY. Hey Ruth,
Yeah?
you can't. My haircut's canceled.
Oh, really?
I don't know. It says you put it on there as a it says canceled.
Oh. It was on the work calendar and I took it off the work calendar.
Okay, so I've still got the appointment.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Maybe fine, yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it was on the work calendar and it shouldn't have been.
Okay, so you took it off the work calendar. Just sent out a cancellation. So. You know, it's really, we're getting an awful lot of rain.
Yep. Did it stop?
No, it's pouring now. Not deluge like it was earlier, but it's pouring.
Yep.
How's Allison doing?
Well, she's preparing for this intervention thing.
Oh shit. She got to go to the office then too. She's.
Yep.
How are you feeling today? Really?
Yep.
That's great.
As far as whatever
You don't have to put that on. Oh. We are got up to like 85 people in the room this morning. Goodness.
85 and it's still early.
All right. Back here. All right, it's about 12:10. Again, I'm going to take a lunch around 12:15 as the SPY continues to grind higher now. I've had a nice little move in the SPY. Notice my market internals holding up. So longs are pretty good right now. Microsoft looking good. Roblex, just kind of moving sideways here. And again, I'm out of Chewy. Probably could have stayed here a little bit longer. It is pulling back down again. But again, I just don't like it. It's still sitting right between the 8 and the 15 here right now. So it's right at the 200-day moving average again. Just don't have enough time on it. You know, flood warning, Ruthie, flood warning.
Or flood warning?
Right now, numerous roads flooded and closed.
What, do they tell you which ones?
Water approaching some businesses in downtown Charleston between 1 and 2.5 inches of rain have fallen. Additional 1 inches are possible. Flash flooding is already occurring.
Not surprised.
Experienced flash flooding include North Charleston, Mount Pleasant, downtown Charleston, Daniel Island, West Ashley, Charleston Naval Complex, Marion Square, Medical University of South Carolina, and the Citadel.
I'm sure James Island, there's some low-lying areas.
Oh, of course, yeah. Then we're under another flood watch until 6 o'clock. Good Lord. There's another batch coming through around 2:30.
What?
Another batch coming through around 2:30. Tropical storm Erin has formed.
What?
Tropical storm Erin, E-R-I-N, has formed.
Hey.
Erin forms in the Atlantic. It's way out there.
We now have Tropical Storm Erin in the Atlantic. It went right from Invest 97L to Tropical Storm Erin.
Yeah, this thing right now just west-northwest of the Cabo Verde Island, moving westbound at 20 miles per hour, continuing to move in that general direction. That is what's expected. There's the official sort of projected path. The cone here showing you moving westbound, and notice the wind speeds going up. In fact, by the time we get to the weekend, yeah, we could be talking 150 mile per hour hurricane. Fortunately, at least for now, looks like it stays north of the islands of the Eastern Caribbean. But a very powerful system nonetheless that we're going to be tracking.
It's backing off. Whoops. SPY backing off a little bit from the high right now. I'm going to take the break here and get some lunch. Again, we put Microsoft on today as a put credit spread. Very nice little put credit spread there. Nice recommendation from the room. I'm still in BMNR right here as it pulls back down again. Again, pretty choppy, but a very, very volatile stock. So we'll just watch that. And Roblox is up pretty nicely today. It's still moving up here, trading at 131.78. So decent move in Roblox. We need a little bit more. We need some legs on this thing for the next 2 weeks, but the setup is very, very nice on Roblox right now. Again, the market internals are still holding up pretty well here. Though T2104, if I look at it real quickly now, it's starting to move down right this second. So I assume this VOLD is probably going to do the same thing. Yeah, it's starting to move back a little bit, right to the pivot point. All right, I'm going to grab some lunch, and I'll be back. I'll be watching the market during the time. Thanks very much. Got to shut down the YouTube feed right now. Thank you, everybody in YouTube, for watching today. Appreciate it. And I'll be back tomorrow, about 11 o'clock or so, and for about another hour or so. All right, have a great afternoon, everybody on YouTube.